Hello, League. This is your commissioner checking in to welcome you to the 2015 La Liga fantasy football season. The main purpose of the video today will be to determine the draft order, but before we get started with methodology, let's first talk about a recap of where we've been and how last year finished up. So last year the winner was Jordan, second place was Barry, Wiz was third, and I was fourth. In kind of thinking about how I was going to do the draft order this year, I'm pretty sick of just pulling names out of a hat, so I try to start thinking outside the box. But before I felt okay being a little bit more creative with the methodology, I wanted to prove, just putting this out on the table first, that draft order and how you finish don't actually have a strong direct correlation. So what I did is I took all of our stats from the past and noticed a few things. First of all, we started the league in 2006. That would mean that this year is our 10th year in running this fantasy football league. And I don't know, that's probably the longest commitment of my entire life, so I think it's pretty impressive. I want to call out specifically Barry, Sarkis, Wiz, my brother, Fink, Murph, and Freer. The 7 of you plus me have been in this league each year from the inception, so hats off. Hopefully we go 10 years after this. So, to the draft order. As I mentioned, I took all of the average draft positions that everybody's had from 2006 till 2014, and then I took how they finished. I plotted them against each other to make a scatter plot, and then I try to find an R-squared to figure out how much of the finish would be determined by the draft position. And to do that, you kind of find the R-squared of a linear line. I looked this up to confirm, but the general rule of thumb for statistical significance in scatter plots would be a R-squared of about 0.7 on a scale of 0 to 1. So anything above 0.7 would mean that your finish would be highly affected by your draft position. Anything just below 0.7 would mean that there's some correlation but not really direct. And anything well below 0.7 would mean that there's really no significance in where you get, where you start your draft and how you finish the league. So again, on a scale of 0 to 1, 0.7 is kind of the line that you're trying to be above to prove significance. I plotted all of the draft orders and all the finishes and came out with a result of an R-squared of 0.1, which means that there's almost no correlation between where you start drafting or what draft position you get and where you finish. I'll put up the scatter plot, but it just basically looks like a bunch of dots around a square, or inside a square, and a line kind of running through the middle, but you can't find any kind of, predictor in there. So I think this is going to be a bit different of a way to determine the draft order, but fear not, it's all random. It doesn't really matter anyway. So I'll come back in a second and talk about how we're going to do this. Okay, draft methodology. Basically, I tried to figure out a new way to do things this year, and it's turned out that it's going to take two parts to get it done totally. But before I explain both, let me just make one statement of change that I'm going to do. In the past, we've done picking names out of a hat, so 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, and then you would get that draft pick, and then the winner of getting picked last out of the hat, the number one person, would get the number one pick. But there's a lot of arguments that can be made around why number one is not the best pick. In fact, number 4, number 5, or 6, or whatever would be the better pick. So this year, I'm going to have our winner be able to pick his draft spot. So if you win this game, then you get to say I want pick 3 or 4, rather than me telling you what position you get. So that's kind of the option that you get for winning, rather than just kind of being told where you draft. So that's just a general statement first. As for methodology, here's the game. And if you're watching this now, you probably already, I guess you would already know that I've done this. So the idea here is I'm going to call each one of you. I have a list here with all your names, and I'm going to go down the list and call each one of you. Garrison and Kropalak, I'm going to call Garrison, I guess, because he was the original owner. But, if that doesn't work, I could move to Kropalak too. And I guess same with AJ and Jordan. But so I'll go through, and the person who picks up my call first, the fastest, would get the first choice of draft pick, and the person that's the slowest would get the last. So it's basically a race to see who I can contact first. There's a bit of karma involved in this because you should always be picking up my calls if I'm calling you, but at the same time, you don't know it, but you're actually the one determining your draft order by if you're sending me to voicemail or if you're taking a while to call me back. And it's just kind of a different way to do it. And again, draft order doesn't really matter, so it's just kind of fun. The second part of this would be for myself. Obviously, I can't call myself, so I did write 1 through 12 down on pieces of paper, and I'll pick it out of a hat for myself. I guess I'll do that first, but after that, I'll call each one of you and record. Let's just say, for example, I call Jim, and it takes him 3 seconds to pick up my call, and I'll put 3 seconds next to his name. And then let's say I call Thierry, and it takes him some time to call me back, or I'll call everybody systematically a second time for the people I don't get in touch with the first time. So 15 minutes later, I'll call everybody again. If somebody calls you back in the interim, they would get precedent, but I wouldn't call anybody out of turn. So it's just really a race to see who I can get in touch with first. So let's say I call Thierry, he doesn't pick up, and then he calls me 15 minutes later before I make my second round of calls to the people I didn't get in touch with the first time. He would get kind of between the first and second rounds of calls in the order. Hopefully that's slightly clearer than I'm making it sound in my head right now, but it should be pretty simple. Hopefully I'll get in touch with you, most of you, on the first attempt anyway. Last thing, I guess, like always, I could find a way to rig this or cheat this by giving people a heads up, but I didn't. No one else knows that I'm doing this. I'll record all the calls here. You can speed through this or watch it if you want, but one by one, I'll call everybody, show the times in the video so you know who's ignoring me, who's not, and who's picking up first. And in the end, I'll call everybody back, tell them the results, and let them kind of tell me where they want to draft based on how quickly I got in touch with them. So that's the deal. It might have sounded complicated, but it's not. And I'll start making the calls, now, and we'll go on from there. Be in touch soon, guys. Pick my call up. Okay, first things first. My draft pick. Okay, as you just saw, I have 12 evenly spaced pieces of paper and numbered 1 through 12 on each. They are now all in my hat here. I don't know which is which. Let's find out where to start this. Okay. My draft pick will be 5. Alright guys, so I have the 5th pick. We just saw that. Now I'm going to go through the list and start calling people. Instead of trying to make a million different little videos and splice them together, I want to just make a list on paper and kind of just do this all live. Thinking a lot about all the different things, make sure I got everything. I just want to be clear that I'm going to call everybody, the first batch at the same time, and then if somebody doesn't pick up, I'll call everybody again in maybe like 30 minutes or 45 minutes at the same time, and then I'll have an interim column where if somebody calls me back in the time between the first and second set, they would kind of be slotted in wherever they go. Also, the other thing is if there's a tie, and we'll do this in number of rings because I don't think it starts counting numbers until, seconds until you actually connect. So, it'll be rings, and whoever picks me up in the first or second ring or whatever. If people tie in terms of rings, then we'll just kind of have a tie break. I'll put them in the second set, call them again, see who picks up faster the second time. But, automatically they would be ahead of anybody that didn't pick up the first time. Been thinking a lot about this, trying to get all the variables and scenarios worked out in my head. Because of that, I started this process, did this whole thing that I'm doing now already, this whole speech already for 3 people. Thought I was recording it, but I wasn't. So you're going to have to take my word for it, and I promise I'm not making any of this up. I just wasn't recording it, but for competitive integrity, I don't want to call the person that picked up again because he's likely to now pick it up sooner because he knows that I'm supposed to be calling him back. So here's the list, and here's what I got so far. I got Freer picking up on 2 rings. Fink and Thierry both ignoring my calls per usual. I'm gonna keep going down the list here. You'll see, like, Freer, I guess, could be just done now. Fink and Thierry, I'm gonna hopefully they'll call me back in the interim. If not, I'll give them a call in the second batch. I'm gonna keep going, have Wiz, and just do it all live here. So here's Wiz. Two.
Hello, you've reached Dwayne Lock Unfortunately.
Okay. Push him. Now I got Murph. You ready, Murph? What are you doing at 8 o'clock right now? Labor Day. 2.
Hello, sir.
Hey, Murph, what's going on, man?
Nothing. What's going on?
Not much. Actually, oh shoot, dude, can I call you back in just a couple minutes?
I don't know if you know, you just called me.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
Sure, you can call me back. No problem.
All right, dude. Thanks.
All right.
Bye. I don't know. I'll watch this again. I think it was 4 rings, maybe 5. But I'll watch it again to confirm. I'll write down 4. I got Sark next.
Yo, Peter.
Jim, what's going on, man?
What's up?
Not much. You looking forward to the draft tomorrow or what?
Yeah.
Oh man, you sound so enthused.
Yeah, I just came back from a bachelor party in Charlotte, so I'm exhausted.
Nice, man. Hey, actually, can I call you back in a few minutes? Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, cool. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah.
3. Got my brother.
You reached Brendan Coyle. Please leave your name.
Okay, push. Here's what it's looking like so far. Let's X these guys out. So right now we got Freer, Murph, and Sark that picked up. My brother, Wiz, Thierry, and Fink that didn't. If we were having to do the order right now without finishing this, it would be Freer number 1 pick, Sark number 2, Murph number 3 pick. I have 5. Left we have Barry, Garrison, AJ, and the new guy. I just closed down the poll now, so I'll add that in a second. But let's go to Barry. It would shock me if Barry picked up right now. This is what you get, Barry, for ignoring my calls. 1. 2. 4.
Hey, you've reached Chris Barry. I can't take your call right now. Leave your name and number, and I'll be back.
Surprise, surprise, Barry. All right, Garrison, Kropalak. I think if Garrison doesn't pick up, I'll just call Kropalak straight up. 2, 3. Hey, what's going on, man?
Not too much shit. What's happening?
Hey, oh shoot, dude. Hey, can I just call you back in a minute? Sorry.
Yep.
All right, cool. Thanks. Bye. 5. I guess I couldn't have called Kropalak right after anyway, because I would give them 2 shots to be in the first round, which isn't fair. All right, now AJ and Jordan will be joined up. I'm going to call AJ. If he doesn't pick up, maybe I'll try Jordan in round 2. That's probably what I'll do.
You've reached the voicemail of AJ Puzo. Please.
Okay. So after the first round, here's what I got. Freer picking me up the fastest in 2. Sark 3. Murph 4. Garrison 5. And so I guess that would mean Freer's right now, I guess in the end, Freer, you got number 1 pick. Sark, number 2. Murph, number 3. Tom and Drew have number 4. I have number 5. The people that I need to wait for or call back would be Fink, Thierry, Wiz, my brother, Barry, AJ, and the new guy. All right, I'll log back in when I do my second round of calls. I'm going to watch the video and make sure this is all right, but I think we got it all set. All right, be back. Hey, boss, what's going on, man?
What's up, man?
Oh, shoot, not much, dude. I was calling you about something, but I forget. But actually now I'm kind of caught up in something else. So can I call you back in a few minutes, or if I remember what I was thinking about?
Yeah. Call or text. If I don't pick up, text me. We got people over, so we're just barbecuing and stuff, whatever.
Oh, cool, man. All right, yeah, I'll call or text you.
Okay, cool.
All right, later. Okay, that was at 5:11. So he ignored me first call, but he's the first one to call back in the interim. I was going to call everybody at maybe 5:40 again. So he's the first one in the interim. So I also just confirmed all of the rings. So I was right. So right now the draft order is Freer 1, Sark 2, Murph 3, Garrison 4, me 5, and now Boss would be 6. So I guess this is now AJ/Jordan. Calling at 5:11 p.m. I did all the first round around 5 o'clock even. So that's that, and then they'll have the 6th pick. All right, I'm gonna rush to report if someone calls me back again. All right, guys, can't believe I missed it, but it looks like Barry actually called me back 3 minutes after AJ. So you got Barry at 5:14. So he's going to get the next one. All right, close down the poll. Looks like the new guy's my brother-in-law, Eric. So Eric, welcome to the league. I'm going to put you in the first grouping of people, but technically AJ and Barry both called back before I got this call off. So sorry, but hopefully you pick up here first, and then you would surpass both of them anyway. That's 2.
Hi, this is Eric Spencer. I'm not available to your call.
So that was 3 rings. I think he sent me a voicemail. It might be working. Sorry, Eric, but Labor Day, East Coast, 8 p.m. It's a pretty fair assumption that you'd be free, I thought. But you're going to get pushed. so you have slightly more time in the slightly less time in the interim than everybody else, but it only mattered for AJ and Barry. So, all right, I'm gonna shut it down until somebody calls, but we have about half the league done. All right, guys, got my brother, 518. Brendan.
DJ.
Hey, actually, shoot. Sorry, I wanted to talk to you, but let me call you back in like a couple minutes or something.
Yeah, sure.
All right, cool. Bye. All right, that's 518. So he's 4 minutes behind Barry. That would 518, and just let me take a look at where we stand. I'll kind of cue you guys up to where we stand when the next person calls. All right, guys. What may have seemed like a seamless transition from the last clip to this one has actually been a few hours because the last two people in the league are busy. So we left off saying that my brother took the 8th spot as far as choices for draft picks at 518. After that, and sorry, I'm reading my spreadsheet here. I got Wiz to call in at 544, Eric at 555, and then Thierry just a minute ago at 7:35. So now that I have kind of determined the order, which would go Freer, Sark, Murph, Garrison Kropalak, me, AJ and Jordan, Barry, my brother, Wiz, Eric, Thierry, and then Fink, who has yet to call me at all. Hopefully he's still alive. I called everybody in that order, gave them the option to pick a draft spot, and now it's all fixed up. So here's kind of like my, I don't know if you can see this, but my tracking sheet, and you can't read that, but okay. So in the end, and I'll make this the official order after I talked to everybody and they got their picks down. The picks in order from first draft pick to 12th would be Murph 1, 2 is Garrison Kropalak, 3 is AJ Jordan, 4 is my brother, 5 is me, 6 is Barry, 7 Fink, 8 Wiz, 9 Eric, 10 Freer, 11 is Thierry, and 12 is Sarkis. So I think that wraps things up. I don't have anything left, but just a reminder, if anybody's still watching this video like 40 minutes after I started it, the draft is tomorrow, 9:45 Eastern Time. Try to log in, 20, 15 minutes early. Just make sure we got everybody. I'll probably give you a call to remind you. And that's it. Otherwise, pretty straightforward. One other change I wrote in an email, just want to highlight again. I added an IR spot, so if you have somebody that's on IR or injured, you can not have to drop them and hold on to them for a bit, but you only get one of those spots, so use it wisely. Otherwise, everything else is the same, kind of waiver budgets and scoring is all pretty standard. So that's it. Thanks for bearing with me. Good luck this year, and looking forward to Thursday when this all kicks off. All right, guys. Talk soon.